Here's the thing, we've been fed the biggest fat loss lie for decades, and it's sabotaging everything you're trying to achieve. While you're obsessing over calorie counting and pushing yourself through endless cardio sessions, there's a fundamental biological need that's being completely ignored. The fitness industry has kept you trapped in this exhausting cycle of over-exercising and restrictive dieting, all while missing the forest for the trees. What if I told you that your body doesn't actually care about those numbers on your fitness tracker as much as it cares about something far more primitive and essential? This isn't just another diet trend. This is about understanding how your hypothalamus has been screaming for attention while you've been listening to the wrong signals. The truth about fat loss isn't found in those complicated calorie equations or expensive supplements that promise quick fixes. Instead, it's rooted in basic biological needs that have been hardwired into our survival system for thousands of years. When these fundamental requirements aren't met, your body goes into a state of constant hunger, driving you to eat more and more until it gets what it desperately needs. You might think you lack willpower when you can't stop reaching for snacks after a workout. But the reality is that your body is simply following its biological programming. This programming doesn't care about your weight loss goals. It only cares about keeping you alive, and it'll make you miserable until you give it what it's asking for. Imagine if your body had a built-in protein target that absolutely must be hit before it stops demanding food. Well, here's a game changer. Scientific studies from 2005 revealed that both animals and humans will continue eating until they reach approximately 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. This isn't about building muscle or optimizing protein synthesis for your next gym session. This is about turning off a deeply rooted biological alarm system that's been keeping you hungry all day long. Your hypothalamus doesn't negotiate with your diet plans, it simply demands this protein target be met. Period. What's fascinating is that this system operates completely independently of your conscious hunger signals or appetite control mechanisms. You could be stuffed full of carbs and fats, feeling physically full, but your body will keep sending those nagging hunger signals until it gets enough protein. Think of it like your phone's low battery warning. It doesn't matter how many apps you're running, that alert won't stop until you plug in the charger. The same principle applies to your protein needs. Except instead of a dead phone, you get uncontrollable cravings and constant thoughts about food. This biological programming explains why so many people struggle with late night snacking and can't seem to stick to their meal plans. Now here's where things get really interesting, and where most people's fat loss efforts completely backfire. When you crush that high-intensity interval training session or push through an intense cardio workout, something happens in your body that nobody talks about. The muscle turnover from these intense sessions sends a direct signal to your hypothalamus, temporarily increasing your protein target above that baseline 0.6 grams per pound. It's like your body's saying, hey, we just did some serious work here, and now we need even more protein to repair and rebuild. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Muscle turnover is actually what helps you get stronger and fitter. But here's the kicker that's been sabotaging your progress. Most people have no clue that their protein needs just spiked after their workout. You finish that killer height session feeling accomplished. Maybe grab a sports drink or some fruit, and then wonder why you're absolutely ravenous for the rest of the day. Your body is literally screaming for more protein. But since you don't know this, you end up eating everything in sight trying to satisfy this increased biological demand. Weight training and high-intensity cardio are fantastic for your health and fitness goals, but they come with this hidden cost that can completely derail your fat loss if you're not prepared for it. Here's where most people completely shoot themselves in the foot. They finish their workout and then make the biggest mistake possible. You've just signaled your body to increase its protein target, but instead of addressing this immediate need, you might grab a banana, chug some water, or worse, wait hours before eating anything substantial. Meanwhile, your hypothalamus is sending increasingly urgent hunger signals, and your appetite control systems are going haywire. It's like ignoring a fire alarm. The longer you wait, the louder and more persistent those signals become. This is why you find yourself demolishing a bag of chips or devouring an entire sleeve of cookies later in the day. What's really happening is that your body will keep driving you to eat carbs and fats until it finally gets enough protein to satisfy that elevated post-workout target. You might consume hundreds or even thousands of extra calories in this desperate search for protein, completely negating any caloric deficit you created during your workout. Think about it. You burn 300 calories during cardio, then end up eating 800 calories worth of snacks because your body is frantically trying to meet its protein needs. This vicious cycle keeps people trapped in a pattern of working out harder and eating more, wondering why they're not seeing results despite all their effort and dedication. Alright, let's talk about how to actually fix this mess with some simple hacks that'll change everything the moment you finish your workout. And I mean immediately. You've got a golden window to shut down those escalating hunger signals before they spiral out of control. Essential amino acids are your secret weapon here. They're like sending a direct message to your hypothalamus saying, hey, we've got this covered. You can chill out now. Think of it as putting a band-aid on a cut before it starts bleeding everywhere. Within the first hour post-workout, you want to follow up with a combination that most people never think about. Whey protein paired with collagen protein. Here's why this combo is such a game changer for your muscle protein synthesis and overall recovery. While whey protein handles the muscle repair and growth, collagen protein takes care of your connective tissue. Those ligaments, tendons, and joints that just got worked during your session. It's like having a construction crew where one team fixes the walls while another team repairs the foundation. Your body craves this complete spectrum of protein because that's how we're designed to eat. Think about our ancestors consuming the whole animal. Meat and gristle included, when you give your body both types of protein, you're not just satisfying that elevated protein target, you're also supporting comprehensive recovery and keeping those hunger signals in check. Now here's something that'll blow your mind. Your body doesn't just have a protein target. It's also got a calcium target that works exactly the same way. Just like with protein, your hypothalamus and liver will keep you hungry until you hit your calcium needs, no matter how much other food you've eaten. This means you could polish off an entire pizza. But if you haven't gotten enough calcium, your body will still be sending those feed me signals. It's like trying to fill up a car with the wrong type of fuel. You can pour in all the gas you want, but if it needs diesel, that engine isn't going to be satisfied. Your bones are so critical to your survival that your body will literally keep you eating until it gets the calcium it needs to maintain them. What's really fascinating is how calcium and other minerals directly impact your leptin resistance and overall appetite control mechanisms. When you're deficient in these essential minerals, your hunger hormones get completely out of whack, making it nearly impossible to feel satisfied after meals. Think about foods like dairy, yogurt, cottage cheese, and sardines with bones. These aren't just random healthy foods. They're delivering the exact combination of protein and calcium that your body is desperately craving. This is why people who focus solely on calorie counting often fail. They're trying to manage their weight while completely ignoring the nutrient quality and mineral content that actually controls their hunger signals. Let's get practical about what you should actually be putting on your plate to satisfy these biological demands. For calcium, you want to focus on foods like dairy products, yogurt, whey protein, cottage cheese, and here's a big one, sardines with the bones still in them. These aren't just random health food recommendations. They're strategic choices that deliver both calcium and high-quality protein in one shot. Think of it like killing two birds with one stone. You're satisfying multiple biological targets simultaneously instead of playing nutritional whack-a-mole all day long. When you choose foods that naturally contain both protein and calcium, you're working with your body's design rather than against it. For complete protein sources, ground beef, eggs, and beef liver are absolute powerhouses that deliver the full spectrum of amino acids your body craves. Ground beef is particularly brilliant because it includes some of that connective tissue and gristle that our ancestors would have consumed, the parts that contain collagen and other nutrients we often miss in modern diets. The difference between these whole, nutrient-dense foods and processed alternatives is like comparing premium gasoline to watered-down fuel. When you prioritize nutrient quality over convenience, you're giving your hypothalamus exactly what it's been asking for, which naturally leads to better appetite control and less obsessive thinking about food throughout the day. So how do you actually implement this knowledge into your daily routine without turning your life upside down? Let's start with the perfect breakfast. Eggs paired with ground beef gives you that powerful protein and mineral combination right from the start. After your workout, you'll want those essential amino acids, or the whey protein and collagen combo we talked about earlier. For lunch, bump up that protein content and add some healthy fats to keep you satisfied through the afternoon energy dip. Then, here's where it gets interesting for dinner. Keep your protein lean, but actually increase your carbohydrates, which might sound completely backwards to everything you've been told. This dinner strategy isn't just about nutrition. It's about optimizing your sleep and recovery cycle. Higher carbs in the evening help promote better sleep quality. And when you've already hit your protein target earlier in the day, your hypothalamus isn't screaming for more food. It's like front-loading your biological needs so that, by evening, your body can actually relax and focus on recovery instead of constantly searching for nutrients. You'll find that those late-night cravings and kitchen raids become a thing of the past because you've already given your body what it needed when it needed it most. Here's the paradigm shift that changes everything. Calories matter, but they're sitting in the passenger seat while nutrient quality is driving the car. When you prioritize protein, minerals, and overall nutrient density first, something magical happens. Your caloric intake naturally regulates itself without all that exhausting mental math. It's like upgrading from a flip phone to a smartphone. Suddenly, everything just works better without you having to micromanage every little detail. Your body becomes incredibly efficient at signaling when it's truly satisfied versus when it's just temporarily full but still missing key nutrients. Think about it this way. When you eat nutrient-dense foods that hit your biological targets, you naturally stop wanting to eat more because your hypothalamus finally gets the all-clear signal. Compare this to the traditional approach of calorie counting, where you might hit your daily number but still feel hungry because you haven't actually fed your body what it needs. It's the difference between giving a crying baby what they actually want versus just making noise to distract them. One approach addresses the root cause, while the other just creates more stress and frustration for everyone involved. The eat less, move more approach has been an absolute disaster for millions of people. And it's time we called it out for what it really is: oversimplified advice that ignores basic human biology. This model treats your body like a simple calculator when it's actually more like a sophisticated computer running multiple programs simultaneously. When you focus solely on creating a caloric deficit without addressing your protein target and mineral needs, you're essentially trying to run software on hardware that doesn't have the right operating system. Your hypothalamus doesn't care about your fitness app or your meal plan. It only cares about getting the nutrients it needs to keep you alive and functioning. What's even more frustrating is how the processed food industry has capitalized on this flawed model to keep people trapped in cycles of hunger and cravings. They've created foods that are calorie dense, which means you can eat their products all day long and still never satisfy your biological needs. It's like trying to quench your thirst with soda. You might feel temporarily satisfied, but you're actually making the underlying problem worse. These foods are specifically designed to hit your taste buds without hitting your nutrient targets, ensuring you'll keep coming back for more while wondering why you can't control your appetite. Here's a simple hack that can transform your entire day. Get protein into your system as early as possible, ideally within the first hour of waking up. When you front-load your protein target early in the day, something incredible happens to your appetite control for the remaining hours. Your hypothalamus gets that early signal that protein needs are being met, which dramatically reduces those carb cravings that typically hit you around mid-morning and afternoon. It's like paying your bills early in the month. Once it's done, you don't have to stress about it anymore. This morning protein strategy essentially puts your hunger hormones on autopilot for better decision-making throughout the day. What's fascinating is how this timing hack works with your natural circadian rhythms and cortisol patterns. When you give your body protein early, you're supporting stable blood sugar levels and preventing those energy crashes that usually lead to poor food choices. Think about how different your day feels when you start with eggs and ground beef versus when you grab a muffin and coffee on the run. The protein breakfast sets you up for sustained energy and clear thinking, while the carb-heavy option creates a roller coaster of hunger and cravings. This isn't just about willpower. It's about working with your body's natural systems instead of fighting against them all day long. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it becomes completely effortless once you understand the underlying biology. You're not fighting against your body anymore. You're finally working with it. After a few weeks of prioritizing protein and mineral targets, something remarkable happens. You stop obsessing about food because your hypothalamus isn't constantly sending emergency hunger signals. It's like finally getting a good night's sleep after weeks of insomnia. Suddenly, everything else in your life becomes easier to manage. Your energy stabilizes, your mood improves, and those constant thoughts about your next meal or snack simply fade into the background noise where they belong. This isn't another diet that you'll abandon in 3 months. It's a fundamental shift in how you understand and respond to your body's actual needs. When you consistently hit your protein target and support your mineral needs, fat loss becomes a natural byproduct rather than a constant struggle. Think of it like learning to drive. Once you understand how the car actually works, you don't have to consciously think about every little movement anymore. Your body becomes incredibly efficient at self-regulation when you give it the tools it needs. And that's when sustainable, long-term results become not just possible, but inevitable. So, there you have it. You've just discovered why all your previous weight loss efforts failed. And more importantly, you now have the knowledge to finally break this frustrating cycle once and for all. But here's the question that really matters. Are you going to keep doing the same things that brought you here? Or will you have the courage to implement what you just learned? Because let's be honest, knowledge without action is just entertainment. And you didn't come this far to be just another person who knows how to lose weight but never does anything about it. Think about it How many years of your life have you already wasted fighting against your own body? How many times have you felt guilty for lacking willpower when the real problem was that nobody ever taught you how your biology actually works? You have two choices now. You can continue on the same roller coaster of fad diets and exhausting workouts that leave you more frustrated with each attempt. Or you can finally work with your body instead of against it. Which of these options seems smarter to you? Here's what I want you to do today. Tomorrow morning, within the first hour you wake up, consume at least 30 grams of quality protein eggs with ground beef. A whey shake with collagen. It doesn't matter. Just do it and watch how your entire day changes. Are you willing to do this simple experiment for 1 week? Because if you can't even implement this simple change, how do you expect to completely transform your relationship with food and your body? Subscribe to the channel now and hit that notification bell, because this is just the beginning of your transformation journey. And you can't afford to miss the information that could literally change your life.